Bendiciones. I see that there is Maria, Yamiyasi, Rachelis, Janelle Fuller, Patricia, Patricia, Viria, Rosales, Rich Sherman, Paul Kennedy, Deborah Ramirez, Nicole Milton, and Philly Chic is on. I have you guys on the side on my phone. Bendiciones, and welcome back to another installment of another installment of. We're still figuring it out. There's a moth in here. I'm a little scared actually. I'm keeping an eye on it. You guys can't see it because y'all only see the green screen. Oh no. Y'all only see the green screen, but there's a moth right here and I'm a little scared that it's gonna fly all over the place. So I'm keeping an eye on it from my peripheral. But the next installment of Echal Palante with Meeshee. So, okay. Before we even start, let me get my lips in order because my lips are so dry. They've been so dry with the weather change here in California. It is so confusing. It goes from hot to then freezing cold where you're just like, yo, what's going on? And it's like a windy, like, not like a windy, it's just a brisk cold. Like my fingers feel like icicles. So I'm just going to use my Triple Cherry Treat lip conditioning oil. And I'm going to let that sit in because I'm going to put on a brown lip because I want to give you the full fantasy for this because I have been thinking about if I wanted to share this with you guys. I've spoke about it before, but I've never really gone into details about like my high school experience. Hold on, let me see what you're saying. Hey, can you see her? Hello? Hold on, I'm having technical difficulties on my end with the computer. I don't know if we're still live streaming. Meeshee, do a where you from check-in. So we're still, okay. I'm hoping that we're still live because I got a little message on this computer saying that we weren't live. And the person who hooked it up for me is not here. So I don't know what to do with this and how to figure it out. So I want to make sure that I'm like still live. Okay. It's not a lip gloss. Racheli said, what's the lip gloss you're using? It's not a lip gloss. It is a lip conditioning oil. Paul Kennedy said, cold and snowy in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. I miss you, sis. It's bittersweet. Diana Aponte said hi. Okay, so I think we're good. But let me get to the whole point of this whole live cast. So I've shared recently that I have signed up for school again. I have been open about me not graduating and getting my high school diploma or my GED. I have tried several times in different points of my life to go back to school, and it always seemed as if it's almost as if I took it like como un mar de ojo. A mar de ojo is like an evil eye. I grew up in a very religious, spiritual household. My eyelash is a little wonky. Not this one. It's this one. Everything is opposite when you're looking at. Oh no, now it looks terrible. Espérate. You know, these lashes will be a downfall. You try to do something cute for yourself and then they look all wonky and you're like, hello, lash. So, for whatever rhyme or reason, every time I've tried to go back to school, shortly afterwards, something has happened where it just didn't work out and I had to like forfeit school because life happens. And in my current situation right now, um, I still don't have a secure, stable place. But as I've been navigating the workforce, I realized that having a high school equivalency will open up more doors that will be available to me versus the limiting doors that I have now. And just for my self esteem and for just my own benefit, I've wanted to conquer this. I've always wanted to conquer this. And I feel like if I wait for the right time, if I tell myself, okay, when I get my place, then I could do it. But realistically, when I get my place, I'm already going to have to be on my grind. Because when I get my place, I want to be able to own something. Like I want to buy a condominium. I want to buy something where it's like ya ta compra, like it's bought. She don't have to worry. All she has to do is keep up with her taxes and her like I don't know building maintenance fees or whatever. Something that when I leave it, if I choose to leave it, I leave it with still being able to rent it out and make money or something. But from my stability and my mental stability and just my sanity, I need to own something. So to take a massive leap from having nothing and then to go into some sort of home ownership is a big leap. And I know that there's a lot of little steps to take to get to that point. And oftentimes you could see the big picture and you see where you want to be at and you see where you're currently at. And it may look like a tall glass of water to swallow. But let me tell you something. If you just take little gulps during the day, at the end of it, you've just swallowed a whole gallon of water and it's going to benefit you. It's going to like give you nothing but enrichment in your life. So I have a goal, I have a vision, and I have exactly where I want to be. I want to be jet setting, traveling, doing corresponding work, speaking at seminars, doing TED Talks, and really talking about how I was able to transform my life. Because that is what I'm committing to myself is the complete transformation of Meeshee. That's what I'm calling this season of my life, the complete transformation of Meeshee. The transformation through trauma and the transcending through it. All of it. I'm ready to break free and to really just reach that next level of my life because it's no longer a dream. It's like a goal. And with persistency and hard work, when you break down these massive goals and you do little goals, it's just it's just inevitable. You get to where you want to go. Um, and I think that my life and everything that I've experienced and have gone through, I have shown the resiliency that is needed for greatness. Some say that greatness is, you know, like inherent, you're born with it. Well, baby, she's been born with it, and everything that I have been through has been the living testimony of my resiliency. And as I'm entering this new transformative season, keeping in line with the T's, I am letting go of excuses, letting go of timing. I'm letting go of this concept of everything is just going to happen in the right time. I don't need to worry about when anything is going to happen. I need to focus in the now. So I'm releasing the constructs of time because when you think about it, time is really like a social construct. What I've never understood, and correct me if I'm wrong, what I've never understood is daylight saving time. So you're telling me we get an extra hour of sunlight, but then we lose an hour. How? I thought time is supposed to be time and time is like it stays the way it is. So you're telling me that you can change time to me. I know there's like a whole like science behind it and astrology of it all, but to me, to keep it about 50, I'm like, Make it make sense, because I don't understand how time changes. I thought time is just time. But pues. So, yeah, I'm releasing the social construct of perfect timing, and I am making the time now. I'm making the time now. As I've been making time for the gym, my body has been sore. I took a boxing class y déjame decirte una cosa. Había una vieja, pero no voy a decir vieja. Okay, so all my non-Spanish speaking people, because sometimes saying it in Spanish it gets you like viviente, it gets you alive. I went to a boxing class at the gym. It's free with the membership. There was a woman of an older age. She just did a class and I joined her second class. The first class involved weights. And she went straight from that class to teaching the boxing class. And it was literally us just punching the air like this. And then different things like, and then the kicks and then the squats. My body was hurting. When I tell you un dolor that literally right now, all of this feels. But you know what? I want my Michelle Obama arms. I want my arms toned. I want it so that when I'm dancing, it doesn't look like a freaking thigh or a freaking turkey, like a turkey wing. I don't feel like I have chicken wings or bat wings. I feel like I have big old turkey wings. Like the ones that you probably get at Disney World. Just a big old turkey leg. I feel like it's up in the air. But that's just me. I want to tone my arms. So I took this boxing class, and let me tell you something. The pain that I was feeling, I was like, yo, I really haven't worked up my upper body. If I had to pull myself, if I fell down in a hole right now, and I had to think about it, like physically, mentally, and spiritually, when things happen in your life and you're experiencing new experiences, sit with that feeling in your body. So my body was feeling physical pain from working the upper part of my body. When I started to think about that and reflect about that innerly, I was like, yo, if I physically fell in a hole and somebody threw me a rope and said, but you have to pull yourself up, would I be able to pull myself up off that rope? With that rope? Would I be able to physically get myself out of that hole? No. I can't hold up my own weight. The woman was making us do push-ups. I could not. And my arms was literally shaking. I was like, I can't even hold the own weight of my body. Imagine how my spirit feels with the baggage I've been carrying. If my physical body cannot even hold my physical weight, imagine my spiritual body, my spiritual self carrying the baggage and the weight of all my trauma. It's like something flipped, something switched in me, and I was like, yo, this getting physically active and really getting reconnected with my body and feeling these sorenesses and just the tightness and just the pain in my body, it's a complete transformation from the numbness I've been feeling. You know, in speaking to my therapist, I'm a complete advocate for like mental health and doing what you need to do to get your mental health in order. Let me take a sip of water on that note. Think of a therapist like an external hard drive. So you have all these thoughts in your head, right? Your therapist is your external hard drive. You're able to download all of that out of your head, get it out of your head, get it out of that anxiety ridden cycle, and you're able to say, here, boom. And then that therapist is able to download the data and is able to like just help you map it out and guide you with just simple questions. And then at the end of it, you're like, you're seeing it all up in the board in front of you. The therapist is your mirror. You're seeing it all in front of you, and you're like, wow, I could see how this, and this was a sliding effect because of this all the way up here. So I was dealing with this, and this. But baby, I wasn't dealing with the underlying issue, which was all the way up there. So I had to reassess and say, okay, so let's go up the ladder and let's start going forth. Let's start digging up those roots and let's see what's really festering down there. And it has not been easy. It's not been easy at all. It's not easy work. Doing shadow work, doing that inner healing, freeing yourself from trauma, transcending it. It is not easy work. But just physically working out for me, what I've been able to connect and have that correlation is that I need to build up my endurance through discipline. I need to build up my endurance through seeing those obstacles. When I was at the gym and it got hard and my body was on fire, I wanted to give up. This woman right next to me, and then a girl in the front came to the back. I said, where you going? In the middle of the class, and I don't even want to cry. In the middle of the class, they said, where you going? I said, I don't think I could finish it. And they're like, come on, you got this. You got this. It's 10 minutes. And then she said, it's 5 minutes. And those these two women right here, stood right there with me and stood with me while I completed that class. Something that I thought I could not do. And it took everything physically in me to push that little harder, that little bit harder. And sometimes we're in those moments of our life where we feel transfixed, we feel stuck, and we're like, what do I need to give? What else do I need to give? And we feel like I've given it all. I've given it all. Baby, when you feel like you haven't given it all, you have just breached the surface. It's time to push even harder. And what I've realized in just doing the physical work of transforming, I'm realizing that that now translates to every avenue of my life in every facet. So, as much as I want to live in this fairy tale romanticism of life, I'm on a journey. And that journey is going to require me to pull in that determination that that little girl that was scared had in her. That adaptive nature, that strength that got me to this point is going to get me to the next point. And it's about harnessing that power, understanding that through the trauma really comes strength and resiliency, and releasing the shackles of the weight of it, but using that drive and that fire that kept me alive, that has continued to keep me alive, and harness that and really just, you know? So now that I've given that introspective spiel, I want to go into the topic that we're talking about, releasing that perception of timing and the right time and going after what I want. So I start school the 29th. I kind of want to get like a cute I don't know. I don't know if I want to get like a cute I want like a spiral notebook, or do I want like a binder? I don't know what I want, but I feel like I should get like a school book, right? So that I just do all my schoolwork and all my homework and stuff like that. Um, and, so cute. And I'm gonna wear a new bag every single day I go to school. because you guys have sent me bags, and look, she got a new bag every single day for school. Um, I wish, like, okay, so the little kid in me, I'm like, wouldn't it be cute to go to school and get like new sneakers right now? And I don't have a coat, so get like a cute little coat, like a cute little puffer coat, and just go to school looking mad cute and shit. Whatever, whatever. But I'm excited, and I'm getting excited about it, and I'm allowing myself to get excited about it. And um, so yeah, that's what's happening. And as that's happening, I've been thinking about really figuring it out. Like, where did my limiting beliefs and my ability to finish school started with, right? Because when you set a goal for yourself and for some reason you find one rhyme or reason to not accomplish it, it stems from somewhere. Where does that stem from? So I had to go back and think about a time in my life where I really wanted to finish school, but I couldn't. And that instantly brought me back to high school. Instantly. My high school experience was not the high school experience that I envisioned for myself, especially coming out of my um my senior year of junior high. My senior year of junior high, that's a whole different story, and I'll do a separate video on that if you like. But my high school experience was definitely not what I wanted it to be. If you guys remember, there's a thing called zone schools. So, based on your address, there's schools that are designated to your zone. There's problem number one. But in New York, they will give you out a book when you're in junior high, and it had a list. It was this thick book with different pages for the boroughs, and it had all the high schools that you can choose from. Like, literally, you had 5 options, and you had to list the priority of the schools that you wanted. Well, I knew exactly what school I wanted to go to. I wanted to go to the LaGuardia High School of Performing Arts. And in junior high, I had gotten the solo. When I was younger, I actually had a better voice. I did. But I got the solo to sing at my graduation, to sing Mariah Carey, There's a Hero. And I remember my junior high school choir teacher, she had no cartilage in her nose. Her name was Miss Godwin. And she would always push her nose in and be like, girl, I ain't got no cartilage in my nose. I don't know how my glasses stay up. And it will always make me laugh. And that was her way of breaking me out of my shell because I was very shy. And, oh, I don't want to cry about Miss Carmen. I wish I knew where she was at because there's some teachers in my life that really were impactful. Then there's some that really weren't. They were really detrimental. So that shows the power that like teachers hold. I don't think we pay teachers enough here in America for what they do. But I had a choir teacher, and I say all this to say that she told me about the school. She knew that I was getting bullied and teased because I presented female because I am. And she knew how hard it was for me because I was the only one. And she said, I think you would do so good in a performance school. And she told me about LaGuardia, and I signed up for it. Um, but my mother did not let me go to the audition because it was around the time of the aftermath of 9/11. And 9/11 really changed the fingerprint of New York, and it has been people still talk about it. So my mother was scared about me going to a school out in Manhattan, and she was like, "No, what if there's another bomba y esto lo otro?" Y I no, 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 no. Pick a school out in Brooklyn. Well, I didn't consult my mother when I made my decisions for school choices. So I had put the majority of my schools in Manhattan. And seeing as how she wasn't going to let me go, I had no choice but to go to my zone school. Let me see if you guys are still with me because I haven't seen any activity. Deborah, thank you. Thank you for sending me the super chat. Nicole Milton, thank you for sending me the super chat too. Can somebody say something to let me know that you guys are still with me? Thank you, Vidia, for the hearts. Bright-eyed and bushy-tailed Monday, yes, be strong, be focused, and be productive. Corey, you're here. You said yes, we're listening attentively. Okay. So, I had to go to my zone school. And I speak about it a lot. I tell you guys I'm from Brownsville, Brooklyn. And if you don't know what Brownsville is really an I want to say I feel like Brownsville is nothing but projects. And if you don't know what projects are, let me take you back in time. The time where I was in New York City. Hold on, let me put on my brown lipstick. If I'm gonna take you to my hood, I'm gonna take you to my hood. Espérate. So I'm using the Kimchi Chic Beauty lip liner in the color Toast. And then I have the NYX Shine Loud Magic Maker. And I don't know what this color is, but it's this one. And I'm going to put that on the top parts of my lip. And then lightly marry it to the bottom. And then I'm going to take my Gloss Bomb Heat in Fenty Glow. And I'm going to hit that in the center. That is the lip. I think we're ready. Espérate, let me put on a spray. What I want to smell like today. Ooh, let's do a oldie. A oldie but goodie. This is my favorite Dossier fragrance, but I ran out of this. This is the floral marshmallow, but as you can see, it's empty. But this is the floral lavender. She's busted up, but she's still good. A little puta spray. Hello. Hello, puta spray. Okay. Y'all ready to go to Brownsville? Boom. So, this is a standard project building. I grew up in one similar. So, this right here, the bottom tier, is like the lobby. And in the bottom tier, there's one apartment. And then there's the elevators. There's normally like 2 elevators. They're always smelling like pee. There's always pee in there. They're always the grossest things ever. And then in like the most standard, there's like 16 floors. I don't know if you can count it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 15, but 16 because of the bottom. 16 floors. And each floor has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 to 8 apartments on each floor, depending, because as you can see, these are like 3 clustered together. So each cluster will have like 16 floors. So, okay, let me explain it to you. The projects are like clusters of buildings put together. So as you can see, this building has 1, 2, 3 buildings clustered together. Each one of those clusters has 16 floors, and then 7 to 8 apartments on each floor. So there's that amount on that cluster, then this one, then this one. So I don't know how many it is in total, but that's how much is in each cluster. But as you can tell from this one, there's different amounts of clusters. Like this project building has 2 clusters of buildings together. So that leads to like a project building will literally have like 6 different staircases. So you'll have like a front and a back staircase for each building, but then somehow they can still interlock and you can get into other buildings. So it's like this maze. It's like this maze, this concrete jungle. So boom, this was my hood, Brownsville, and my zone school for this particular area code was this school. So you ready to go to my school, my high school? Um, so this is my high school that I went to. So this is a warehouse school. It's one flat floor. In that school, that's roads. The top floor was completely closed off to us. Why? Because the top floor was the high school for the juvenile delinquents. They would come in the police cars, like the pad wagons, and drop them off at school and pick them up in chains, like handcuffed, and then release them when they go in there. My school was right across the street from Broadway Junction. Oh, I should have showed y'all Broadway Junction. Do y'all want to see what Broadway Junction looked like? I could do a screen share and I could look up what Broadway Junction looks like if y'all want to see. Let me know if y'all want to see what Broadway Junction looks like. I'm trying to gauge what y'all said, but he said stop playing. That's a bodega. It's not a bodega. No, don't look at that. That's an old photo. That wasn't there when I went to high school there. Rhodes and then EBC was there. That's something different. That's something different. That's something that wasn't there when I went to school there. So Aspirations High wasn't there. I went to EBC, East New York, Public Safety and Law, which is that blue sign up there, but it's kind of like blurred out because the pixelation doesn't translate on the green screen like it does on like the regular picture. My bad. But that Aspiration High School wasn't that when I went there. It was public safety and law. So it was across the street from Broadway Junction. Broadway Junction has a police precinct in the station. And my high school was below that, which is right there. Right there, that blue door, those two blue door gates. That was my high school. It was one flat floor. And it was a pregnancy school. So I went to a pregnancy school. So the school had a built-in daycare center, and it was catered to pregnant young girls that wanted to finish high school. And that so happened to be my zone school. So yeah, I went to a pregnancy school. We had metal detectors. Like we had the scanners. It was a hassle to go in and out of school every day because you had to go through the scanners. If you had anything metal, oh my God, sometimes you even have to take off your shoes, and it's just like, come on now. So I went to one of those high schools, and okay, so Juno, I don't know if you're trying to be funny, but this is not the time. I'm actually talking about something serious. Um, so yeah. Mm-mm. Do I need moderators? ¿Qué está pasando aquí? I digress. I'm gonna continue on. I'm not gonna even look at the phone no more. I'm not gonna even bother with that. So yes, I went to that high school, and when I first started high school, right, um, it was off my senior year of junior high. My senior year of junior high was terrible, but that was the last year where I told my mother and my sister that I was not gonna get my hair cut anymore. Like that was it. I was done getting my hair cut. I was like, I'm gonna grow out my hair over the summer. I'm not cutting my hair. So I started high school where I had blow dried my hair. I had blow dried my hair and flat ironed it. And it was like this, bumped, like bumped in, because it was just growing out, honey. But let me tell you something. I would do like this, and then my hair is mad curly. So back in the day, I used to do a Just For Me Kitty texturizer, the yellow box, and is the one that had the sunflower oil. Let me show you which texturizer. Ooh, this is gonna be cute. This is gonna be so fun. Let's look up the texturizer I used to use. Let's do Google, and let's do. ¿A dónde está? Okay, here. Just for me, kitty texturizer. It was sunflower oil. I remember that on the box it says sunflower oil. Yes, yes, bitch. This used to be my texturizer. This was my texturizer, honey. ¿A dónde está? This one right here. This was my texturizer. Right here. Can I make it bigger? Yes, I can. Where is it? That's as big as I could get it. But that was my texturizer, just for me with the sunflower oil. So I was feeling my oats, honey. I was feeling it. She had a little like, she was feeling it when I started high school. Cause I was feeling my fantasy. I was already living my life as who I am, a woman. I've always. Of course, I've had to hide it from my mother and my family due to just religious and just closed mindedness, you know. And I've lived what some would say a double life, I would leave the house dressed in, school uniform, and I would change into other clothes. And um that feels like so long ago. I've always been who I am. So like thinking about a time where I had to hide who I was and I didn't do a good job at hiding it because I was still getting my ass beat because I was so girly. I'm like, oh my God, all my life I had to fight. That's why when Celie said that in The Color Purple, yo lo sentía. I felt that as a little girl watching The Color Purple. I felt when Sophia said, all my life I had to fight. I was like, yo, same here. I had to fight my brothers. I had to fight my sisters. I had to fight my cousins. Like one time, so boom, this is what happened growing up. Um, I remember when I was younger, I had curly hair, I had a ponytail. So they called me a sissy and that I was too soft. So there was these boys that were being like bullies to me, and I remember I came home crying and I told my brother why I was crying, and he was like, what did you do about it? And I said, well, I didn't do anything. There was two of them. So he was like, I should have fought them. So he grabbed me by my hair and he took me out to like the park that was by like where we grew up at because my cousins were there and that's where they would play basketball. And he told my cousins that I came back home crying because these two boys wanted to fight me and I didn't want to fight them. And then he was like, oh, so you don't want to fight? You don't want to fight? Well, now you got to fight us. And I'm like mad young. I'm like mad freaking young. Like I can't even remember how old I was. But I remember literally like being punched in my ribs. Like they were like, eat them, like, like you gotta toughen up. And just punching me like, pa, 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 pa. And it happened all the time. All the time. All the time. I had to explain so many black eyes and bruises, and the excuse was always, oh, you know, gotta toughen up. I'm not gonna say exactly what they said, but yeah, yeah. I still feel those punches. You ever been punched in the ribs? It takes the wind out of you. Like there was a point where I felt like I couldn't breathe when I was getting punched. I was like, so it made me feel like everything about me was wrong. Like I want y'all to know that. I grew up in life as a little girl thinking that everything about me was wrong and I had to hide it. Because if people saw it, oh my God, it was the end of the world. I was going to get my ass beat. Una pela. Like una pela. Like I could never get caught. It would just be worse. Worse. So much worse. I felt like they hated me growing up. I did. I felt like they hated me. They hated the femininity. So for me, I was like, that means they hate me. Because the version of me that they don't hate is the version that I put on for them. I was always so shy growing up because of it. I felt uncomfortable with who they wanted me to be. It felt so against everything. Like it felt like I was having to put on a performance. Like I couldn't be myself. So having my hair down, texturized, and swinging, it was the first time I was entering school feeling a bit more comfortable with myself, seeing that like I had more control and that I wasn't going to cut my hair anymore and that wasn't going to be triggering and traumatizing to me. So I had high hopes for high school, even though I didn't get to go to the school I wanted to go to. Let me see what you're saying. No, I don't have any family with the last name Medina. So, um, I had high hopes for high school, and everything about going to this school was hard. Absolutely hard. The principal that I had in this school, mm, it wasn't only the principal, it was the security staff, one in particular, it was the family coordinator, it was the principal, it was my freaking second period teacher, it was the gym teacher, it was all of these it was everyone. That school system failed me. The New York City public school system failed me. Going to high school was the worst experience for me because I went to a school that it seemed like everyone that worked there aligned their religious beliefs with similar beliefs that my mother showcased and my family showcased, this extreme disgust. These people acted like they were disgusted by me. There was a family coordinator by the name of Mr. Smith. I will never forget this man, a heavy set man. He will always look at me and he'll be like, ew. All the time, he will look at me and just say, ew. He will look at me with such disgust. And he would tell me, you know what you're doing is wrong? Like, you're going to go to hell for it? He was very religious. And my principal, she was a minister on the weekends. She was a minister on the weekends. And when she caught wind of me, because the thing is, I kind of went under the radar. When I first went to high school, I kind of went under the radar. I kept my head down. I never really spoke. And on my first day of school, second period was where you would get your attendance. Well, the teacher will call out the attendance and you have to call out. Obviously, I was a lot younger. My name was not what it is now. So I didn't want people to like know because they would know once they heard that name and what I looked like did not match. So this was around the time, if you guys have been following me on YouTube, I spoke about my breast developing and hitting puberty. So at this point, I had substantial breast growth. I was like already pushing a C. I was like a 32C. I was a lot smaller back then, but she had bosoms, and um, it just didn't match with what I was presenting. And I spoke to the teacher after class the first day and I told them, hey, that's my name. I didn't say anything because like I don't really like that name. And they're like, well, that's your name. And I'm like, yeah, but like It's just that like I'm different, and I was trying to explain to the teacher, and the teacher was like, if that's your name, that's the name I'm gonna call, and if you don't say anything, then that means you're not here. I'm like, but I'm sitting in the class. He's like, exactly. But if you don't answer, then you're not here. To me, you're not here. So I was like, but is there a way that I could just like raise my hand? He's like, does everybody else raise their hand or do they say present? And he was just being so stern with me. He was not willing to accommodate nothing. So what I would have to do is after second period, I would have to go to the there was like this office, like this attendance office. And that's where like the people would sit and they would call your house if you didn't go to school or anything like that. And I would have to write my name on the late list. So it would show up as I was going to school late every single day because I didn't want the teacher to call me out by my name. So that was already something that I was experiencing in school that made it difficult for me to prosper in school. As well as the family coordinator, his just very visual disgust about me was so baffling to me, and it was so jolting because to someone who I wasn't raised with my father, um and my only experiences with males of like older than me were not great experiences. So I've always been fearful of men in places of authority and being in an abusive relationship. um I understand where that comes from and why that comes from it, because oftentimes I've experienced violence by the hands of men. And so he made it very, very difficult for me. He would tell me all the time, every time this man, he would walk the halls, and every time he'll be like, come over here. He'd be like, get that stuff off your lip. That's for women. That's for girls. You're not a girl. You're not a girl. You can't. He, I want to tell y'all what he said, but I don't think I could say it. He'll be like, he'll be like, you know what you got tucked in between your legs. He would just say it out in the hallway as I was going to class. And I would just be in tears all the time in school. Every fucking class, I would just cry. This just seemed like everybody hated me. Everybody hated me. So that was my attendance. That's my family coordinator of my school. And so PE is a required class in order to graduate. And I had a gym teacher called Mr. DeFritas. And this man was old school Caribbean man. So um he would call me a word that means Faggot. He would call me a bati boy or a chichi boy or a chichi gal. Say that to me. And I knew what it meant. I knew what it meant. And when I told him that I did not want to change in the boys' locker room because I felt uncomfortable if I could use the like the teacher's bathroom, or if I could just wait until the other boys got out of the bathroom so that I can go and change. He was not hearing any of it. He was like, "You're gonna go in there because that's what you are." So I remember going into the boys' locker room. The one and only time I went up in that bitch. I went into the boys' locker room and I went into a corner. They had like a little shower area. And they had the lockers in the front. And I know that the only bit of like coverage was like this little ledge. It was like, okay, so the showers were here. There's like this little ledge that would come out to almost like create the division, but it wasn't fully all the way out. So I crouched behind that little space. And as I was lifting my shirt, a boy passed by. He was like, "What the fuck you doing down there?" I was like, "Nothing, I'm just changing." He was like, "Why you change over here like a creep?" So then it got the attentions of the other boys, and now the other boys coming in, and I'm like this, like trying to hide, right? I'm trying to hide what's going on. Of course, they're like, "Stand up." So now it's all these boys in the locker room. I'm crouched trying to hide my chest. I get up, and obviously they see that I have titties. That's when they were relentless to me. They start calling me the F word. They say like, "Yo, what you out? What you in here looking? You looking in here? You looking at us?" And this and the third. And they were basically telling me to get them out. And I ran out of that locker room shirtless. I didn't even have time to put the shirt over my chest. Ran out shirtless and had to go run to put my shirt in the auditorium. And I never went to class that day. And ever since then, I would always have a hard time with Mr. DeFritas. And my female friends that I went to high school with, they would cover me. There was like this little door that would lead into the auditorium. They would cover me up with their bodies, and then I would change into my gym uniform. And then I would show up to class in my uniform already so that I could avoid going to the gym, to going to the locker room. And then he caught wind of what was going on, right? So he started making because he saw that I would only play volleyball with the girls. So he started making it where the girls were playing volleyball and the boys had to play basketball, which meant that I had to play basketball. Or on certain days, the boys would play dodgeball. And basketball was hard, right? But I could kind of just like walk around and be out of everybody's way when it came to basketball. But when it came to the dodgeball, I was the target. I was the target. I was the absolute target. It was all the boys' mission to make sure that they would hit me, and they will always aim for my face. I will always just be pounded out with all these balls. It was just the worst experience I've ever had in gym. So that made it impossible, and it got so bad for me that I just stopped going. To be honest, I just stopped going. I said, "Well, give me PE in summer school." And I wound up, so yeah, that was that was gym class. And I guess I was starting to be an issue for the school. And that's when I was called into the principal's office. So at the time that I was going to school, um, the principal, she pulls me in and she says, "You walk around here parading." She said, you walk around here parading this homosexuality like it's the pride parade. She said, you know that there's a school for people like you. You should just go to that school. I did research about the school she was talking about. It was the Harvey Milk Institute on Arbor Street. And I actually went to an after school program in that school. I was allowed to go to that after school program because in that school they had a discretion sheet where it was just shown as an after school program. It wasn't labeled as a LGBTQ plus a after school program. And I remember I would take the train with my school Metro card to go there after school, and it was in that school that I got to see diversity, you know? So, in one thing what the principal gave me when she told me that there was a high school for us, she gave me a knowledge and the ability to seek something outside of that school that inevitably helped me. But what she said afterwards was worse. She said, you're living your life in sin and you're confused. You're confused. You're living your life in sin and you're confused. She said, you will never be a woman because you can't bear life. So stop pretending and parading around. And let me tell you something. There was days that I sat there, right? When I finally, told my mom and I introduced her to who I am, to her daughter. And when I was out in the street, I didn't know what to do. I still came to school because I was able to eat school lunch and school breakfast. So when I was out in the street, I would eat school. There was there was a dean to my school who was really nice. The first day I was out in the street, I showed up to school at 4:30. And he showed up to school like at 5:45, I think it was, because he came all the way from Rhode Island. He was like, "What you doing out here?" And I said, "I'm just ready to I want to be, first to school." He knew I think he knew something was wrong. And he took me to the bodega and he got me a bacon, egg, and cheese sandwich and an orange juice. And he said, "I don't know what you got going on." He said, "I know that you probably have it hard in this school." But he's like, "Know that you can talk to me if you need." I never opened up to him. I was too scared. I thought maybe he would reject me, you know, like everybody else had rejected me and just discarded me. So there was times afterwards when I was still trying to go to school, you know. I still try to go to school, guys, when I was living in the street. I still try to go to school. I went to school with the same clothes every day. After school, I would sit around Broadway Junction asking people for quarters to call on the payphone. And I would just gather up enough quarters to have something to eat that night at the bodega, like a beef patty that was $1 or some shit. I didn't know what to do. And when things were so hard, I would go to school and just to hear like your principal and your family coordinator and your teachers and your gym teacher just give you such a hard time about everything, and you're just trying to exist. I was just trying to exist. It felt like there wasn't a place for me in this world. And a veces I would just sit and I would think, like, maybe if I willed it enough, I could just jump and I would fly away. I didn't know how to express it back then, but I always used to just think about jumping out of like a window or out of just something. I would just think about jumping and this idea of being able to just fly away from everything. And I think that that was my earliest understanding of like wanting to just end it, to be honest. It was like, maybe I just won't exist anymore. Maybe they're right. I shouldn't exist anymore. If everything was just gonna be this hard. So I didn't make it past the 11th grade. I tried. I tried into mid year of the 11th grade to continue on with school. And then after that, I gave up. I gave up. With no parental guardian advocating for me and fighting for just people to treat me equally. There was nobody on my side. I didn't have any representation. I fell victim to a system that failed me. It really did. Completely did. So I share this with you as a way to release it, to leave this behind, and that limiting belief that I am not good enough or worthy enough to be able to go to school with anybody else. And I am going to go back to school. And I'm going to do it. I'm going to achieve it. And I'm excited. I am. So I hope that if anything that you get from anything that I tell you or anything that I share, I want you to know that you're worth taking the time to truly transcend and heal. And it's not going to be easy. And you guys have seen me here processing it through, crying it out. But it's really taking that trauma and transforming it into what propels you forward to echar pa'lante. So, that's the moral of the story. Let me read what you have wrote. Okay, so um, um, uh, she's sharing an emotional story with us about school and life. I'm sorry to hear this, Meeshee. Nicole Milton. Corey said, "Thank you, Nicole Milton." Mamas, why you crying? Oh, you didn't see the whole thing, Corey. You'll probably go back and watch this and you'll know a bit more about me. You are stronger than you realize. You are strong and have impacted many hearts. We support and love you. Battle Fox, Battleborn Fox said, "Crap pisses me the F off. I'm sorry you had to experience such cruelty. You should have never been treated so disgustingly. You deserve to exist, and I'm glad that you do." Thank you. Denise um, Codner, you are so strong. Um, that's what I want to show you is the resiliency and the strength that comes from utilizing things that maybe are deep rooted in pain, but truly seeing that those moments where you've transcended that pain. So obviously, I'm not back in high school. Obviously, who I am now, that could never happen to me. What happened to me in the high school the first time, that can never happen to me now. I have a voice and I know how to use it, and I can speak up for myself. But that little girl didn't. She didn't have it. But what she did have was the adaptability, the resiliency, and the strength to echar pa'lante and sobrevivir. And this is why I'm here. She is me. I am her. It's all different facets of who I am. And I can either choose to reflect on trauma and dwell on the pain, or look at the lesson behind it and say, wow, I've overcome that. And truly free yourself from the weight of it. Because physically crying about what I've experienced and recanting the story, it's emotionally tasking. I could see, I know exactly what they look like, the face, everything about them. Everything about them, because it impacted me so deeply. Their words in one of the most um difficult moments of my life, I would dare say, in the beginning of like being homeless at 13. They've contributed to some of the most like disgusting behaviors, but I've survived that. I've survived it. And I'm here with a green screen in the background, still kicking and screaming, pushing forward, echando pa'lante, and I would say argumentably doing it quite flawlessly. You know? You would think, girl, you've been through a life. You should look vieja. Where, bitch? Where, bitch? She looks cute. I look cute. And I'm living, breathing my best life. And I'm excited for what the future holds for me. And I think that now I have the inner standing and the understanding that I have to let go of what I can't control and just focus on what I can. And what I can focus on is taking these steps, these small steps every single day to get to who I want to be. And that's it. That's it. I hope that the message is coming along strong. Okay, so Cheryl Lawrence said, "Beautiful soul, look at you now." Um, Robert wrote, "They ain't got nothing on you now, Meesh. You're twice the person they could ever be." Melissa said, "You're an inspiration." Thank you, Melissa. Um, Jalisa Lynette, "You should definitely try to start a program where you can talk to the youth about things like this." Would people even want to hear this? Did y'all even want to hear this? Country Corey wrote, "Damn right, you are, because you are effing amazing and strong, and I won't let you quit. Shine, girl, shine. Um, shine bright like a diamond." I want to go to dinner. Corey, I want to go to dinner. I want to go to dinner, and I want to eat. I want to eat carbs. What else have people ever written? Um, and we here for it and can't wait to see what you have for us. Okay, so hear me out. The GED program has this thing where if you wanted to participate afterwards, you can graduate and do the whole cap and gown. And like, ooh, I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. I don't want to cry. But I'm excited because, like, I know I'm going to invite Sunshine to my graduation. Why am I crying about this? It's just because it's so stupid, but it's going to mean a lot to me to have her there. I miss Sunshine so much. She went to Bali, and I have missed my friend. Ew. I can't believe I'm crying about this. I am such an emotional kitten today, I swear. I miss somebody, I cry. I'm happy, I cry. I'm sad, I cry. Like, girl, I'm just always crying. Um, um, I know because I know that like it means something to me. Like, I see Sunshine as a sister to me. She's really made California feel like home to me. And like Jurgen, Miss Luna, hello. Like Miss Luna, I spend so much time with her. Miss Luna has given me not only friendship but opportunity, and I love Miss Luna. I've loved. You say yes, do the cap and gown. I want to decorate the cap and everything. Oh, depending on how many tickets I'm able to get for my graduation. Do you guys want to come to my graduation? Stop. Maybe Sunshine could live stream it on YouTube so you guys can all see me graduate. Oh, I don't want to cry. I'm crying because I really like. I know it's stupid. I know it's just a little GED. But I'm telling you right now, I'm going to get it. I'm gonna get my GT. Oh, I need to get off this live. I'm just crying for no reason. All emotional and shit. Making me cry. You said balloons and flowers. Corey, you better get me balloons and flowers, and I don't want those cheap flowers. I don't like carnations and baby breaths. um, um, Thank you for that. I needed to be a little catty in order to get me out of these tears. Um, you could do a cute fashion shoot in your cap and gown. Girl, I'm done. Who's gonna take me out to dinner for my graduation? Who's gonna take me out to dinner for my graduation? Because that's what everybody does after they graduate. They go out to eat with their cap and gown or whatever. But hear me out. I want a couture cap and gown. So I need to figure out from now how to sew a cap and gown with a train on it. So I can figure out what colors my school is gonna do. And then I'm gonna get a cap and gown and I'm gonna design it. And it's gonna have a train with rhinestones, bitch. Yes. The only cap and gown with a train, honey. It's gonna be like a freaking ball gown. And I want it to have a snatched waist. Okay, so I want it to be a cap and gown, but an actual gown as a cap and gown. Do you get the vision? Do you get the vision? You said not it. I said it first. Wow, Corey. Whatever. You don't have to take me out to dinner. You do not have to take me out to dinner. Not at all. You know what? I'm going to take myself out to dinner. How about that? Yes, I'm in New Jersey. Keep going. It's not stupid. It took me 52 years to feel valid and finally get my master's. Celebrate you. Oh my God, decorate that cap. So here's the thing. Here's the vision. The cap and gown. I want it to be the cap and gown, like the actual. I want it to look like that, and it have the zipper, but I want it to be like off the shoulders, like, and then it comes here, and then it goes, and it gets tight, and then it flares out into like a gown. Boom, cap and gown. And I know a drag queen, by the name of Roxy. She sews garments. So I'm hoping that I can get her to make it for me. It's probably going to be a pretty penny. But si tengo que vender los pelitos de la crica mía, me lo voy a pagar because I want a custom cap and gown, honey. A custom cap and gown. She wants a custom cap and gown with the rhinestones, bitch. The whole nine. Fuck around, I might want some red bottoms. No, that's doing too much. But I am gonna get acrylic nails for my graduation. I'm gonna get acrylic nails for my graduation so I could be cute or whatever. I haven't even started school and I'm planning my graduation. Talk about delusion. Brandon Lux said, "How do you like the new Fenty serum?" Oh, do you really want to know? Because I'll go get the product now and I'll tell you. I'm going to do a full skincare routine video, so don't worry, but I'll tell you what I think about it so far. Okay, so this is the new Watch Your Tone. Watch Your Tone Dark Spot Serum. And what I like about it, this is the new Milky Toner, is that right now all I have is well, I actually don't have anything on. I don't have anything on my face. What I like is that you put this after you put your fat water. So you apply your fat water. Right? And then hello. And then oh no. It just squirted out. Hold on. Just Riri. Riri. You got some explaining to do. This look. Esto se ve raro. Yo no sé. Riri. Riri. What this look like? Tú eres una freca. Look! And look how it holds. Look how it holds the drip. Riri. 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 Oh my god. Oh my god. I think I found my new favorite product. Riri. Let me find out. Let me find out. You are doing things in the bedroom and you are pulling stuff out from personal experience, honey, because you know that people say que la sema is good for your skin. Let me find out. She said, I need a consistency, very, very cum-like, because I feel like that's the best for the skin. You know, Riri? You a little nasty. Watch your tone. Oh, look at that. She is grown, people. I am a grown woman with this dark. Mm-mm. Yeah, this is. I literally love this product. I love this product. I love the component. The component and how you just. And it comes out. I love that it's not heavy. You see, what I love about the Fenty Skin products is that they're very like, I don't want to say water based, but they're very hydrating without needing to be necessarily heavy and creamy. So you're able to apply all these layers, but still feel like your skin is breathable and touchable. And you know that when you layer your makeup on top of it, you're going to have a wonderful base because the hydration isn't caked on and it's not going to like really clog your pores. So I love that this pairs well and marries well with all the other products in the Fenty skincare line. I have only used this consistently for a bit under a week, but I will be doing a full Fenty Skin review where I will be going more in depth on this product. So be on the lookout because you know I am your Fenty girl correspondent. I might just do a TikTok video about it tomorrow. So let me put that on my agenda. And on that note, you guys enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully you've enjoyed um this podcast episode. Oh my god, Melissa. Melissa, thank you, boo. Melissa came through with the Denise said, I want to send you cute erasable pens in every color for school. Really? Really? Oh my god, all the colors. I know, right? Oh, wait, you said erasable. There's erasable pens? Yeah. Yeah, Denise. Yeah. Thank you, Melissa. That's really sweet. Yo tengo hambre. So I'm gonna have to figure out something to eat right now. For real, because I'm hungry. And it's already 1:50 in the afternoon and I have not eaten yet. So I'm gonna figure that out for myself and I really enjoyed this. I can't wait. If there's anything that you guys have ever thought about or had questions, I've been thinking about doing a Q&A episode for this podcast. So let me know if let me know some of the questions you would want me to answer for a future episode where I would be doing a Q&A. So, yep. Until next time, guys. Remember, echa pa'lante. Echa pa'lante. Um, how do I end this? Oh, I end it here. Espérate.